welcome to everyone. We are very happy to do this this webinar together with Robert, and so to show how a seamless integration of Capella could be made with Jira and Confluence. So the agenda for this webinar will be to have a short presentation of Obeo company and Sodius Willard's company. After, we will explain a little bit the problem we want to solve. And then after we have the proposal solution we have with publication for Capella and Atlassian OSLC connectors from Sodius Willard. All of this will be shown on demonstration. So this will be really the biggest part of the webinar to show a showcase of this. And then we will have a conclusion at the end and after the Q&A session. So let's start with Obeo company. So Obeo is a French independent software provider founded in 2005, which developed modeling technologies for teams designing and transforming complex systems. We have customers in various industries distributed worldwide. Our main technology called Sirius enables the creation of custom solutions to address specific modeling needs. This technology has also been used to develop two modeling tools for more generic domains. The first one is Capella, designed for system engineering, co-developed with Thales. And the second one is Obeo Smart EA for enterprise architects. In addition, we developed Cython, which is an open source and model-based, web-based model-based system engineering modeling tool based on SysML v2 language. Our offer covers open source solutions like Sirius or Cython, and commercial software like Team for Capella or Publication for Capella, and also services to make specific development and help our customers.
Thank you, Alex. Thanks for getting us started with that and talking about Obeo. So Sodius Willard is a global software tools company. We've been working globally for a long time. Our headquarters is in France. I'm located in the US. Our products are focused in the system and software place to do integrations. So we have tools like our tool connectivity tools that you'll see today using OSLC to be able to link information bi-directionally between tools. We have our migration tools, often well spoken of, our publisher tools on communicating and transforming between modeling tools to be able to share information. And we also have some productivity tools like our DXL editor that many of our Doors Classic customers have used over the years. So we're an enabler for customers to be able to build better products and make sure that their tools work together.
So let's describe the problem description we want to solve. So the architecture becomes the central place of the system. So different actors should access to the architecture, like the customers, the requirement engineers, the software hardware guys, the verification and validation teams, cybersecurity, safety, etc., etc. So, but all of them have different views, needs, and requests, and the system architecture becomes quickly complex for them. So how to arrive to really put the architecture model in the central place to really help everybody to develop the project and the project. Also, how to integrate the architecture, the system architecture, into the life cycle of the management of your project. So there are different change requests, different milestones, different stuff to follow, and the architecture is unfortunately right now always besides all of this. So it's especially with Capella a little bit difficult to integrate this into the full project and into really in a smooth way into the lifetime the life cycle of your project. So the different challenges we have to solve, or we should solve, is how to integrate the Capella elements into the system engineering toolchain smoothly. Easily trace also the change requests to architecture changes. How to easily share models elements with other stakeholders than system architects. because system architects knows Capella, knows to drive in where to find the information, but it's not the case for everybody, every stakeholders of the project. So this is also a complexity, and this should be solved. And how to ensure consistency and up-to-date information in the system engineering tool chain. This is also really important because if the information is not up to date, then the people lose the trust on them, and they stay on their side and don't look at the information besides. And so there are silos which are unfortunately growing. So the goal is really to break all those kind of silos and to make model-based system engineering central for the development of the project. So the solution we propose is with publication for Capella and the connectors, the OSLC connectors. So publication for Capella permit to share Capella model on web server. So the architecture, any architecture element can be easily accessible via a web browser. So don't care about the installation, which version of Capella I've got, which kind of add-ons, stuff like that. Don't care. You access to the web browser through a URL, and you get access to architecture elements. We also add into the tool some preview, some advanced search tabs, etc., to simplify the sharing and dissemination of architecture data. We also have inside the support of traceability. So link could be established between the ALM elements like requirements, change management, change requests, bugs, etc., and any Capella element. Links are accessible anywhere, everywhere, in Capella, in online publication, or in ALM also, and really in an easy way. And so it permits to make already a link with ALM too. So this is just a view of the publication for Capella, so the web interface. I will show it in more detail during the demonstration, but mainly on the left-hand side, you retrieve the tree view like you already have in Capella. In the central place, you have the data, the elements you selected, and semantic broader information below, plus the OSLC links. And on the right-hand side, you have the detail, or here displayed the history of the element from the server. So I will show it later on. So the second part is the sharing of Capella model and dissemination. So with Confluence, which is you can share information via live doc and pages. So really easy way. It's really simple and great to share information. And thanks to the Sodius add-on and publication for Capella, insert any Capella element and diagram anywhere inside Confluence pages. So configurable, there's also configurable display of Capella elements you will add into your pages. There's no need of any development, no scripts, no files to share, to store somewhere, and to synchronize. No, everything with OSLC is really dynamically done between the tools. And so this is really great to have really a smooth experience and up-to-date information. And so information are always consistent with the architecture thanks to this technology. So you see on the left-hand side, Capella, on the left part, in the middle, publication for Capella, and upper, the OSLC Connect for Confluence add-on, and then upper again, the Confluence. So you see that between Confluence and Capella, there's this OSLC Connect add-on plus Obeo publication for Capella. Seems a little bit complex, but you will see that at the usage, it's really, really, really simple.
Thanks, Alex. And just to kind of elaborate on that a little bit. So as we approach our different connectors for OSLC, we take a look at what the natural usage is. The natural usage for Confluence for Teams is to be able to make a very easy, ready to use way to share information and share information formally, or more specifically, informally to users. So it's a very useful whiteboard to be able to share information. What we want to do is add the formality, meaning that we have engineering documents, engineering models that we want to be able to share to users and make sure they're up to date. And so what we did was add this capability for OSLC into Confluence that allows you to reference these engineering artifacts securely. So you need to authenticate to that remote system, but then it will embed that information directly in that page and update it every time you go to load that page. So it's a great way to be able to keep formal content like models without having to copy those into a Confluence page and be able to present those users in a secure and auditable fashion. So it's blending the easy use of Confluence with the engineering data that we know our teams have. So it's a great way to be able to bring those relevant information to the table. And when we use OSLC, it means that not only are we able to use the modeling data from Capella via the Obeo publication capability, but also other engineering tools as well can be brought in that support this OSLC standard.
So this is just an overview, also a snapshot of Confluence page where you can see Capella diagrams inside displayed, and also some over preview of elements. But as I said, you will so it's really in a better way during the demonstration. So how to link architecture to the change management? So in the same way with Sodius Wizard add-on and publication for Capella, we can easily create links between Jira issues and architecture element or diagrams. So this is bi-directional traceability and thoroughly configurable. So this is the same setup with a dedicated add-on from Sodius to Jira.
And as we talked about Confluence, Confluence was an informal tool. When we work with Jira, it's part of our formal change process. And especially in our safety critical systems, we want to be able to have full traceability between our engineering assets and our change flow. What we've done with OSLC Connect for Jira is take a easy to use change tool like Jira that's prevalent in almost every engineering organization and build in bi-directional traceability. So not only can you have traceability or engineering artifacts from Jira, but also in those engineering artifacts have those backlinks back into Jira. So it allows seamless navigation between these different tools and be able to make sure that not only can you navigate between them, but you also can report with them as well. So Alex has a great demo here that will show the traceability as we navigate between these different tools, and looking forward to seeing this in action as it looks seamless as we move between these different elements.
Okay, so same, it's a snapshot of Capella on the left-hand side with a change request, which is integrated inside or associated to an element of the diagram, and on the right-hand side, the Jira ticket. But in the same way, in demonstration, you will see how it's made easily. So now comes the demonstration. So the goal of the demonstration is really to showcase, for example, an addition of a welcome music function into the in-flight entertainment system project. So in-flight entertainment system is a project, an example project, which is provided with Capella. You can download it, so you will retrieve the information you will see here during the demonstration. So it's provided as an example in Capella to start to discover Capella Arcadia with different layers of architecture already done. And so you can navigate in and make some stuff inside. So it's really great. So that's why we take this example. And yeah, the goal is to add a new function inside this model. So we will show how to handle changes with Jira, because we have to add a new function. So we have to manage a change request for this. How to share the new function elements in Confluence with all stakeholders of the project. How to update Capella architecture. Will be really quick. And to trace architecture updates with the Jira request. So The goal is also to show how easy the navigation and the creation and the consistency of informations across applications are really done. We want to add this welcome music function. So we created epics in Jira. We created epics in Jira. Inside the Jira, we created different tasks, requirement update, system architecture update, and also a new Confluence page. So inside Confluence, we have here, this is an example of Confluence where you can really share easily information in different ways. So here example is to share the core team we have, the different tool we are using, different information regards of the system of the implemented environment, the roadmap, etc. So here there's a page where we already show and display some Capella elements. So you can see on the left side this Capella diagram with green. What is in green is the functions, the functional exchanges, the system in dark blue, etc. So people who knows Capella will recognize easily. So this is already integrated into Capella thanks to the OSLC connectors. I will show after how to do it. It's only to show already a result, I would say. So information can be also added directly inside a sentence. And here, if you move your mouse over an element, you will have a preview. So this is an OSLC preview where you will discover the different informations of the data you over. This will also, of course, work for diagrams. And so you have a preview of the diagram itself. So you can easily configure and put the information and share information you want as you want in Confluence. It's really simple and really easy to do. So you will see here we created a dedicated page for the new function, so the welcome music. We only associated the epic, and now we want to put into this page the diagram we will update in the architecture. And so we don't want to add only a simple URL link. The goal is really to have this display and updates of this and the synchronization, dynamic synchronization with the architecture. So we will use an OSLC link. So for that, we will use the macro. So we will select the macro and select the OSLC macro. And so here you have a dedicated UI where here you will have, you could have different links, as said by Robert, you could have different links to different tools. And so you will have the different link type. And this is the link type for the architecture and associated to a dedicated project also from Publication for Capella. Here is you arrive to a UI which is given to the Confluence tool, and you will be able to search element you want to add. So we will search to manage audio diagram, and we can reduce add a filter to reduce the result. So here we have two results, and inside those results we have also a preview, which permits to see, okay, is it really this one? No, if it's not this one, it's the second one. And then here, per default, the link will be only like this preview here. So that means only a link. So there's three kinds of display mode. And so we will select the second one, which is the small one. And on the right side, you have the biggest one. So it depends on what you want to display, how you want to display. You will select the display you want. And so here in Confluence, you have directly the diagram, which is integrated into your Confluence page. So you see that it's really easy. Use a macro like always in Confluence, like for panels, for other stuff like that, or Jira, or nothing, anything else. And only select your elements, and it's integrated. Choose your display, and it's integrated. really easy to add information. So now we will jump to publication for Capella. So here is publication for Capella. So you retrieve on the left-hand side, the tree like you have in Capella. So the Capella architects will recognize everything. So you have access to all the data you already have in Capella. In the middle, you have the element. Here is the diagram. Below, you have the semantic border information. And later on, you will see on the right side, we will have the OSLC link. And on the right-hand side, we have the detail view. So here it will be a little bit better on a function. So on the function, you have the different detail view, but it's the detail, the properties of the element you select. We also have a search and an advanced search. In the same way, we have a pre-visualization of it. You can have access to this and you display the element. Inside the diagram, we also have a preview of elements. So you can just move your mouse over the element and you will have the display of information. But so yes, you have here diagrams or anything you have which are linked to this. But sometimes if you, for example, you want to only explain this diagram to someone else or to show the modifications or stuff like that, you don't want to have this preview which is appearing every time you are moving your mouse over the different tool. So by the eye on the top right, you can disable this preview, and then you are able to move around your diagram easily and to show the different information. And then you can enable again by clicking this part. Of course, this is a web interface. So if you copy the URL and pass it in email to send to someone else, then he will load it in his internet browser and he will reach the diagram display like that. Of course, if he has access to the project, because there's also write access to the web interface for sure. But if he has access, he has this one, and it's not a picture. So he have access to everything. So he has the preview of all elements, could navigate inside the model as anyone else. So this is really powerful to share information. So you already see that with Confluence, with the OSLC connector and publication for Capella, you already have a lot of stuff to share your Capella models easily to a lot of people and to manage the. So now we want to add this function. So it was only here a view and an explanation of the different the publication for Capella and Confluence. Now we want to add this new function, which is the welcome music. So we go to the Jira ticket, which was assigned to us, and we change the status to ongoing because we have to work at a certain point of time. So now we jump to Capella to make the modification. The modification was already done. We will not lose time for this. So we added a play welcome music function. We added a functional exchange to this function. This functional exchange support or transport the exchange item, which is media file, and the media file has an encoding, audio encoding, which is typed by codec. And during the architecture analysis, we saw that WMA and AAC format was not part of the codec. So we add it because we think that it's needed, but it was not part of the original change request we had. So we will see later on how we keep this consistency, and so how we create a dedicated Jira task linked to those modifications we made into our architecture. So now we made the changes in Capella. Okay, right. But we want to trace the fact that the modifications we made are linked to the change request, which was assigned to update this architecture. And so here you see that we have now on the left-hand side Capella, on the right side Jira. And so to make this traceability to the function, only drag and drop it to the function, and the change request appears in Capella. And you see the elaborated link because it was configured like that. There are so many configurations which could be done for the links. We want also, because we updated this diagram, we want also to trace the fact that the diagram was updated and relates it to this change request. So in the same way, we drag and drop in the background of the diagram, and you see that this diagram elaborates the change request. Just upper also, you see that there's the type change request is automatically get. So that means we recognize that the artifact you drag and drop is a change request. If it's coming from Polarion or from Doors Next, it will be automatically recognized as requirement or test cases or tests or something like that. So depends on the type of the element you drag and drop, we recognize it and we really type the element in Capella with the right type of the element you want to link to your architecture element. So we associated this change request to the function and to the diagram, but we also added the functional exchange. And in Capella, there's a publication for Capella, add an add-on to put inside Capella and add additional features via viewpoints. And so here you see on the right-hand side the traceability part inside the palette, where you can add a link between artifacts. So select the functional exchange and make a link to the change request. And if I look into the change request itself, into the semantic border, we saw that the function, the diagram, and the functional exchanges elaborate this change request. And if we look at the function itself, we see that the function elaborates the change request. So here you have all of this, so the traceability updated in Capella. But now, okay, my work is finished. I want to publish it to make it available to everyone. And so here I have to publish from Capella to the web interface, so to publication for Capella web interface. And so here we will, on the AARD, we will publish to the server, add a comment inside, and the publication will be done. On the right-hand side, you see that I displayed the Confluence page where we displayed, we integrated the diagram we updated. But it was here, it's displayed with the previous version, I would say, before the publication. So here you will see that at the end of the publication, without any action in Confluence, I don't make any refresh or something like that. At the end of the publication, tada, the new elements appears automatically in Confluence. So the function, the relation with the change request. So here you see that really there's a consistency, always a consistent information which is displayed in Confluence without any action. And this is really, really important. So now we jump back to publication for Capella, and we see now into the OSLC link part that we have a link to the change request. If we let the mouse over this this link, there's a preview of the change request content. So you see the task inside. We can click on it and we jump into Jira. Into Jira, we see the three relations we have to the diagrams, and we have the preview of each of them. So that means in Jira, you already have an information of the traceability, but you have also the content of it. So I change, for example, the status of the Jira and back to publication for Capella and to the preview, and you see that the status is done. So without any change in publication for Capella. So in the same way, what is displayed into the preview are dynamically created, built by the tool. So between the two tools, between publication for Capella and Jira, through, of course, the OSLC add-on in between. So by this way, you don't have to take care about synchronization or stuff like that. Everything is dynamically done between the two. Okay, so now we will update the page we created and we will add the new changes. So OSLC link. So here we can use the macro. We can use also the shortcut to call the macro and to directly call the OSLC connector. We will select then the new function. So we remove the filter because it's no more a diagram, but it will be a function. And we will select the welcome function to be added into the sentence we have. We let it as a link for this, it will be okay. And here we will add the codec we updated inside the architecture. So in the same way, we will search it and add it, but here we want to display the content of it. So we will change the display mode and use in the same way the small one. And then the Confluence page is updated. You see it's really quick, and I added here in the middle a link, and you have a preview here with the change request you can see also, and you have the content of the codec inside with the WMA, so an AAC format, which were added. So you see, oops, it was a little bit quick here, but you see how easy it's really to add information into Confluence page with any element from your architecture. Now it's missing the part where we update the codec by adding those two formats. And now we want to create a Jira ticket to trace this. First of all, before creating a new ticket, I will just show you how we could select an existing one. So for example, here I will select an existing task. So you have here the list of the different tasks. You can select one of them, and then you can add directly or search directly at the top. And when it's finished, you select, and then it will make links. So a link between codec architecture elements and the two Jira tasks. Okay. This is not what we want to do for this use case. So we want to create. So we select creation and task. And here we fill the different elements. So you see that in this part high frame, we have a lot of information directly from Jira. So you can already fill different informations of the ticket. The ticket will be created in Jira, associated automatically to this architecture element, and we have, of course, the preview of it in publication, and we can jump inside. In the same way, in Jira, you could also make a link to an architecture element. So you go to collaboration link, and you retrieve the same kind of display, and then you are searching something. Okay, here it will be a diagram, and we will associate the diagram, so the second one, the physical one, to the Jira ticket. And automatically you see the two elements. You have a preview, of course, inside Jira. So you see how you can navigate really quickly and efficiently between the different applications through the different OSLC connectors. Now we made some links directly from Jira to publication for Capella. So that means between servers and servers. But Capella, besides, don't have those kind of updates of links we added directly. So now we want to keep this consistency with Capella. And so we go back to Capella, and then we will update Capella from the server. So update from server. And then here we have the two additional links which were created directly from a server to a server. And so there's the different informations, the different link types. We are not obliged to update our model with everything. We can select one of them or none of them. And okay, so here I selected the both to get back those two links. If I look to this diagram, you see that the codec, there's no change management, the change request, the new change request was not displayed into this diagram. This is normal because as usually in Capella, this is not synchronized, and you should add information you want to display in each diagram. This is logical, depends on the goal you want to give to your model. So here, even if it's not displayed, if I go to the codec, I will see in the semantic browser that the link are really created, elaborate the change request. And in the same way, we could, if we want, we could add it by through the palette, and we can add it to the diagram. Okay, then we can of course remove it as we want on the diagram, from the diagram. Another thing also which is really important is that you see that there's a server, there's a lot of stuff on the servers, and there's Capella. Capella is not alone and completely decoupled to the others. On Capella, if you right click on any element, you have show online, and then you switch directly to publication for Capella. So you have a direct link to the element from which is displayed inside the server. In the same way, if I'm coming back to Capella and I click on the change request, show online, this will jump directly to Jira, and I've got all the information. So the architects in Capella could have access to the full information from Jira. A last point, which is also interesting to have, is inside here inside Confluence. There's this display of the diagram, and inside the diagram, I've got the change request. And if I click on the change request, I jump directly to Jira. So from Confluence directly to Jira, even if it's through publication for Capella. So this is also powerful because you don't need to go to Capella to be able to jump to the change request. So you see how easy we can really make link and traceability between all the applications and have something which is really smooth between all of them. Short conclusion, so you see how you could very easily integrate Capella in your project lifecycle and ALM toolchain to make a step really forward to the MBSE. You also see that informations are mastered by their authoring tool and quickly accessible via OSLC links from any tool, and so you're always sharing up-to-date information to project stakeholders. What is also important to notice is that here we are making links to Jira. So if you are using add-ons, additional add-ons to manage requirements or test cases in Jira, of course, you will buy this connector, OSLC connector with Jira and publication. You will have access, and you can trace directly Capella elements to requirements or to test cases, which are located in Jira. And so the next for the tool, so in publication for Capella, we are working hard to add the version control or to improve our version control, to add baselines, branches, to be able to load the previous version of the architecture, to be able to compare also objects on model online. We will continue to work on the global configuration from IBM and to support more part of the global configuration. And we could we will try to work also on model review to discuss about models online and to implement reviews workflow. Just to finalize on Obeo side, this roadmap is not fixed. It's really depending on the need from our customers and what could be also financial by some customers. So it's not frozen in the time. We want to work on those topics, but it depends on the priority and the budget we could have. Robert, for Sodius.
Oh, super. And wow, what a great demonstration of all these tools together. Really, really, I was very excited to see it as well. So it's wonderful to be able to see how well these tools work together with OSLC. On our side, you saw some drag and drop into Capella, publication for Capella from Jira in the demonstration. We're going to have the same features into our Jira and Confluence as well. So we're going to add capabilities in that upcoming release, probably in a couple months. Support for OAuth 2, we have some movement in the industry of some of the OSLC tools supporting a revision to the OAuth standard. And then also we've had some pushing on by several customers to be able to do some automation flows with our products, typically on the change to change side. Working together within these tools is driving change flow across different silos of the organization. So using OSLC to update statuses and workflows across tools to be able to not only navigate between tools, but also to be able to take action across those. So as Alex said, roadmaps are things that are subject to change. These are things that I'm very confident that we're going to be having in the near future. But there's also other things, and I think I see a few questions going out there that some of the other future roadmap items that we have on our bulletin board, so we can address some of those as well.
And so if you want to go further, you can go to the different websites for publication for Capella, or the websites for Sodius for the connector for Jira and Confluence. Thanks a lot. And so now we can go to the Q&A session.
Okay, here we go. Are both cloud and data center versions of Jira and Confluence supported? Robert, I guess that is for you.
Yes, and that was one of the roadmap items I think I was alluding to in that discussion. I think I saw that one pop up. As you'll see on our website, and as you'll see in the Atlassian marketplace, we support Jira Data Center right now. Jira Cloud is an entirely different architecture. It's the SaaS offering from Atlassian. There's some different constraints that are operating in that environment, but we understand the push and desire for customers to be able to have cloud support there. It's something on our roadmap. It's something that we'll have some announcements later on this year on. We are actively working on how to be able to support that platform as well, but it's not available yet.
Okay, thank you. Very clear answer. So let's move now to the next question. So is publication for Capella mandatory to publish information into Confluence and Jira? I guess that's for you, Alex.
Yes, exactly. Yes, this is mandatory to be able to publish those kind of information in Confluence and Jira.
From Capella, at least.
From Capella, exactly. Otherwise, you made a copy paste of pictures, but it's really not dynamic. And so, yes, publication is mandatory.
Is there any limitation on the types and numbers of Capella model elements that can be allocated to Jira tasks via drag and drop and referenced in Confluence pages?
No, up to now, there's no restrictions. You can really associate any kind of element you have in Capella.
And any number as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I would add on to that as well. We've optimized our products so that it's only things that are visually on your screen that are actually dynamically loaded. So if you have a Confluence page with, say, 500 links to Capella, it's only the current visual elements that are loaded. So we balance those enterprise constraints to the tools to be able to make it easier for people to deploy.
What about interactions between Capella and the Jama? Is it similar to interconnection between Capella and Polarion or Jira? Alex?
Yes, good question. So Unfortunately, we made some try with Jama, so it's really a different story. The problem right now is that Jama is not directly supported OSLC, and so we are in discussion with them. To be honest, what is important, if you really need it, is to contact Jama to really express your need, because this is really important on their side to see different customer needs, to be able to push on this and to work with us to make a connector to be able to have an interaction really between Capella and Jama. So if you are interested in, please contact and do it with or ask Jama for this, and then we will be really happy to develop it. And if there's enough people who are making this, it could be developed, I think, before the end of this year.
The OSLC Connect are also available for Jira and Confluence cloud products. And what are the prices? I guess it's basically almost the same question as the first one.
Yeah, it's a very common question. It comes into my email box rather often. That's why we're actively working on it. In terms of roadmap, like I said, we'll have better announcements later on this year. Pricing isn't set yet. There's some different constraints and different cost drivers there. So we're trying to be able to make the most aggressive solution we can make to the market from a pricing perspective as well. In terms of small teams, that's always a challenge. There is overhead in terms of how do we deploy this and what type of products use it. So on like the data center side, most of our customers are 500 or greater. And so that's usually what we optimize for. And we're very hands-on in terms of support. So that's why some of the smaller teams might look at what it means to engage. I encourage everybody to do a free trial. We'll happily engage with people to be able to see if it meets the value proposition that they need.
Perfect. Thank you, Robert. Next question then. Is OSLC Connect available for Polarion? I guess I can answer this one there. Polarion has built-in support for OSLC. That's a difference with Jira and Confluence, where the tools from Atlassian do not have native OSLC support, and that's the value of the Sodius Willert add-ons. But Polarion comes with built-in OSLC support, so there's no need for additional plugin or anything in Polarion for publication for Capella to work with Polarion.
Yes, it's the same also with Doors Next or with the Just platform. They are OSLC compliant, so of course we are connected directly with them.
Okay, perfect. The next question now, does the use of the OSLC link with Capella and Confluence include versioning capabilities? Interesting question.
The add-on from Sodius, perhaps I can let you, Robert, on your add-on to answer this.
Right. So from our end perspective, we do support versioning. So it's like on a Confluence page, it's contextualizing the Confluence page to a specific version or configuration of assets. It's what we use with other tools that are supporting versioning. The same goes with our Jira product, and is using what your target fix version is to be able to drive what configuration you might want to use or where you found that in. So we do support versioning. OSLC from a versioning perspective separates the link to the artifact to the version. And so those are two separate concepts. And so it's something that we've been working to share with other teams on how best to be able to support that. And Alex, you can answer how publication for Capella is addressing that. And I think you did a little bit on your roadmap.
Yeah, exactly. So right now we have only, I would say, branch and version, but always the latest version. But we are really working hard to add the different version commits, branches, stuff like that. And we already have also some connection with the global configuration. So the goal is to improve this and to really go on live with this capability, which is already offered by the plugin from Sodius with the global configuration connection. And so, yes, this is also our goal. Today, it's not ready, but we are working on it.
Absolutely. Regarding the second part of the questions, I just would like to add that actually the out-of-the-box way of working, of P4C and Jira or Confluence is that you'll always see up-to-date information from Confluence. By default, you will see always the latest version of your architecture. So if the architecture is updated, it's automatically updated in Confluence. Thank you again, and see you soon, everyone. Goodbye.
Thank you, Dot. Bye.
Thank you. Take care.